Yes, make sure to come on through. We want to welcome in studio Danielle Stevens. Good morning.
Welcome. Good morning.
Yes, thank you so much for coming in. Like I said, very nice to meet you. Sorry it's under these circumstances. All I can say, I have a hard time trying to figure out like what to say, and that's just me. But I guess I can just say like our hearts are with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's all you can say. It's nothing more.
Your son, Kylee Robinson, he was shot and killed in Laurel, October 29th, 2023. And there's been no arrests since the incident, correct?
That's correct.
I know you got an event coming up. We're going to talk about that. Kylie's mom steps against gun violence. But I wanted to give you the opportunity to, tell your story and talk about exactly what happened. There was a video that was circulating around on social media over the past year. But I'm just going to give you the floor. So if you just want to go ahead and just talk about, the incident, talk about, your story, and, the floor is yours.
Okay, so the first thing that I just want to say is that my son is Kylee Robinson. He was still a student, so we just want to keep in mind that he was still a teen. He wasn't an adult. He was still in school, and he is still a real person. Because sometimes we get connected and think that we just see these things on the news, and then, after it's all said and done, it's over with. But these are real people, and they have real families, and I think people are disconnected from that. And that's like the main thing that I want to get at, to people, that when people are murdered and killed, the family still struggles every day because they're no longer here. And, that's like the baseline that people don't get.
Right.
But what the story is that my son and his friends were on a warm Sunday day, because it was a really nice day that day, because I was actually cleaning, like I was deep cleaning my house. They were just hanging out like all kids do, teenagers. The night before was homecoming. So that next day he was in town of Laurel. They previously were up by the little store that's no longer, I don't think it runs. I think they just hang out there. It's across from Little Creek. It used to be Dola's when I was growing up, and then it turned into another store, and I think they called it Poppy's. So they were hanging out, and then now this is just a story that was given to me. They made their way to the little quick stop store that's uptown by I guess it's on West Street. It's got a gas station, everything up there to get snacks or what have you. And then they walked back to 7th Street to one of his friend's house. And they're just on the porch while their friend is inside the house. They're on the porch. The only reason that I know, the whereabouts of where the kids were is because, of course, there was a video. It was a Ring camera, which caught the whole shooting on the camera. But it should have only been evidence for the police. But as you know, it had been sent through various text messages through people's phones. People in different areas were just getting these text messages. And it was not only being shared through text messaging, it was shared through Messenger. Then it got on Instagram. Once it hit Instagram, it hit to a page that has all videos of people getting shot, stabbed, murdered, all types of things. And it's not just adults, it's children, it's whatever they can put on there. They put it on there, and it's locked. I fought to report the page. It has never been taken down. It still exists. The only reason that I knew it existed on Instagram was because my younger son had told me that the video was on this site.
Oh, gosh.
When my son was murdered, my youngest son was only 13. So at this time, you've taken not only my son, but you took him from his siblings and his friends. He had friends that he grew up with. They called my son Ling. That was his nickname. He did rap, and he did do songs that I not necessarily would listen to, but as the generation is, these are the music that they make. So his rap name was SG Ling. They say this is some type of gang, but it really isn't. They had a friend that was murdered. Was one of my son's friends, and they called him Slaughter. So he had a nickname. So after he was murdered, at a young age, at 16, and he was also from Laurel, these kids, they only can grasp, friendships. And, after my son was murdered, I saw one of his closest friends put on his Facebook status, all of my friends are on obituaries and they're not here with me. And I think that's really sad for the teens now to think that they are outliving their friends when that's not the way it's supposed to be. They are supposed to grow into adults, and they're not even having the chance.
Talk or have to think about that,
Yeah, they don't even have the chance. And yes, you have plenty of teenagers that are out here successful and able to move through school and do things, but you also have children that have endured so much trauma that they're not even able to do that anymore because they can't focus. I mean, how can you focus? And especially with the video. The video in this case is so traumatic that I don't even know how people shared it. Because why would I want to share something watching someone's child and children? Because he wasn't the only one on the porch that got shot. You have the youngest was 13 that was shot. And not only they survived, but can you imagine surviving that? You're in survival mode every day of your life after you've been shot, and knowing that someone died at the scene. Well, he didn't die at the scene, but died in this same event that you were in. And you still have to live that day after day. And then you have to cope. And then you have to learn how to be a different person.
So your son was at someone else's house. It wasn't your house.
It was not my house.
So the incident got captured on a Ring camera.
Yes.
You saw it for the first time on social media?
No, I saw it through...
with the police, I guess.
Well, the parent of the house did send it to my daughter. My daughter wanted to see it.
Your daughter?
Yes, my daughter.
Okay.
She wanted to see the video.
Okay.
And she didn't want me to see it.
Oh, right.
But I needed to see it because that's my son. And I felt like, okay, if I watch it, maybe I can see something someone else doesn't see.
Right.
I don't know, but when I watch it, I've watched it. I can count on one hand how many times I've looked at it. It is my child, but I always turn the volume down and I go through slow motion because I want to see exactly what's going on in this video. For it being shared, it kind of compromised the investigation. It's evidence. Maybe if it had never been shared, maybe I wouldn't be sitting here saying that I didn't get justice. Maybe it could have helped pursue the people who did the crime. I don't know. I thought that having a video would make it so much easier.
Right.
But because they had ski masks on, which makes no bit of difference because kids wear them all the time. That's a trend. That's what they do. So if I can put 2 pictures up of the same person with a ski mask on in different pictures, and I put them side by side, and you can tell it's the same person, it seems to me that a detective could figure that out too. Yeah,
it's I'm sure at the begining, we're working with police. I mean, what's the, can you, I know you can't really talk about everything. And I don't know if you can talk about anything, but like, where are we at? Like, here we are a year later and there's been no arrests, and it's just crazy to me, that nothing's, cause you have a video with, the people involved. So, where are we at with this whole situation?
So my understanding about the law, and you don't know this until I guess something happens, but my understanding with the law is that they cannot go off of hearsay. So if you did something to Jess and I knew it, and I said, well, I know that Bill Baker did it, if I'm not willing to go in and write it on paper and be like part of that, it's just hearsay.
But if there's a video of the incident, they see it.
I know. But if I'm just saying, if I wasn't there at the scene and I'm saying, I know this for a fact because such and such and such, if I'm not willing to go all the way to the trial with it, then it's just hearsay. And that's what they keep telling me. People have, multiple people have inboxed me. Multiple people have called the Crime Stoppers. Multiple people have called different things. And they say, I know it's this person, I know this person. But what happens is they say it's an anonymous, but then they're telling me that if they don't follow through and they aren't willing to testify against them, then it's not, it doesn't mean anything. And I don't understand that because I watch a lot of crime shows and I see how they just go in and they might get a tip and then they go question a person. No one has ever been questioned in my son's crime. None. Nobody. They've never went anywhere. They've never questioned anyone. They've never held anyone.
What are they saying? I mean, again, I don't know what you can answer or what you can't, but are they telling, like, what are they telling you when you say that?
They're just saying that they have to have something that sticks. So it's basically like, I guess if they don't have something at that moment and they question them, then later on they can't go back to that. So they want to have it all to where it's like they want to build a case.
Are we anywhere closer?
So I feel like we are a little close, but
okay.
I don't feel that it's enough for me. And that's just because it's my son.
Yeah.
Like, there's a video. Like, it's been multiple kids that have been shot and murdered since my son. And you have gotten every last one of those people. So how is it so hard to get the one that shot my son and the other kids on the porch? Because mind you, it's 3 kids and they're all teenagers.
And you just
and
keep
y'all
saying,
have done nothing.
And you just keep getting, oh, well, we don't have enough evidence. And that's what they just keep saying.
That's what they keep saying. And I go to the appointments. I'm active in it. I'm like the detective on the other side of it. I'm very active in my son's case.
It sounds like you've kind of backed off and been like, well, not,
No, and I don't.
I'm through with y'all. Y'all ain't going to find the people. I'm through with y'all.
No, but it's so sad because we live in this area where people won't talk. That street, and that's why, when we go to my walk, that street has had multiple shootings and murder on that street. And I hold the community accountable too, because since when do you sit in your home and you hear gunshots and you don't look outside? When do you not look outside? If there's a fight outside, you're going to try to see what's going on. When do you not speak up for your community? Why would you want to live on a street where it's crime, but, well, as long as it ain't me, then it doesn't matter? It does matter because it will constantly keep happening. And the next time it may be you.
And it's a child.
You're not keeping your street safe at all. I mean, it's just different times. I don't understand it. And I have made plenty of comments, and I know that this comment will probably make someone very eerie and upset to what I'm saying. It was on West 7th Street. If we go on the other side of the track, and it was a porch, say it was my house. I'm white. It was my house. And my son wasn't biracial. And 3 of his friends was on my porch. And someone ran up and shot them, and it was on video. How fast would this have been taken care of? And I hate to say that, but it's been almost a year. When are we going to understand that it doesn't matter who you are, where you live, and what you do? These are lives that have just been taken, and no one wants to do anything about it. And no one wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to express the concern, because it's a big concern, and it's going to happen again, just like it happened again and again after that. And how many again and again and again are y'all going to realize that it's just not where it's at? Like, it's really not.
We have Danielle Stevens in the studio. Her son, Kylee Robinson, shot and killed in Laurel, October 29th, 2023.